If you have spent any time studying Dokkanology, you will know that your brain, no matter what you do, will slowly deteriorate. The amount of brain cells you have will slowly fade away every single second that you actually participate in the World Tournament event. It's just the way the mode has been designed. It is what it is, right? However, there is something you can do to slow down this deterioration. Now, don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, your brain cell count will be at a net loss if you decide to engage in a world tournament. However, for this video, I want to focus on the best possible characters you can bring into the world tournament, the best leaders, the best supports, everything, so that way it eases and slows down the, the brain deterioration, the brain cell depletion count, right? Makes that a little bit, slower, makes your brain slightly healthier, and just, again, makes the overall world tournament experience a little bit easier. So again, best teams, best characters, best supports, best leaders, all of that good stuff. And of course, an overall slight explanation of how everything works, so that way you leave this video with a full explanation and full understanding of how to tackle the World Tournament mode. So, of course, if you enjoy videos like this, want to see more specific guides for other events in Dokkan, consider subscribing to the channel. Road to, of course, 13 trillion subs before the end of the year. I do believe we can get there, especially with your support. And I am recording this video around the Saiyan Day celebration for both Global and JP. The reason why I'm doing that is because there is a lot to talk about in this video, and I don't want to feel rushed whenever Global announces their next world tournament. So whenever Global does announce the next world tournament, I will be dropping this video, but just know that nothing is going to change for Global's next world tournament. So everything I mentioned in this video will, still perfectly be fine and still be able to be utilized, if that makes sense. So no worries there. Let's actually hop into it though. So the way the world tournament works is when you fight, or when you hop into a fight or with one of these enemies, you're actually fighting a real player's team, but controlled by a bot. So basically a bot is copied another player's team, and you're just fighting the bot that controls that player's team. It's basically just really how it works. So you are fighting a real player, but not really, it's not really PvP, But anyways, so you're fighting this entire team here. And because you're fighting the entire team, and because there's so many players playing the world tournament, and because there's a global ranking and a local ranking system where time is of the essence, you need to find a way to beat all these enemies as fast as possible, and that is where the AoE characters come in. AoE by itself just stands for area of effect, so basically affecting an entire area instead of just one specific character. In Dokkan, it's called all target super attack, where basically you have a full list of characters here who in their super attack effect will read damage to all enemies. All enemies. That means that when this Broly super attacks, he's not just attacking the cooler. He's attacking the cooler and the Frieza and every single Cyberman in between, okay? And just so you guys understand, when it comes to these AoE super attack characters, you have to read. And listen, I'm a Dragon Ball fan too. Sometimes I don't read. But when it comes to World Tournament, you have to read where these AoE super attacks are actually being performed at. So let me just give you a full list here before I explain that. This is the entire list of characters in Dokkan that perform an AoE super attack of some kind. So there is quite a bit of options in terms of, teams that you can run and options and stuff like that. Even some free-to-play options, which we will discuss in just 1 second. But this is where the reading really comes into play, okay? If you're running STR Broly, he performs his AoE super attack in his 12 key. So you cannot get 18 key or more for a Broly, or else he will perform his 18 key. He only does damage to enemy. That's just one enemy, not all enemies. So when you're running Broly, do not go over 18 key, or else you will be performing a 12 an attack aimed at one character instead of all characters, okay? Now, I will also mention the reason why Broly is considered the World Tournament King. One of the reasons why is not only because how strong he is, but he performs a guaranteed additional super attack. So if you get his 12 key, he's guaranteed to do an additional 12 key super, which means you're going to be attacking all enemies 2 times. So if they don't survive the first time, there's a good chance they will not be surviving the second time. Of course, if you're in a really high difficulty with type disadvantage, then maybe the enemy might survive with like a smidge of HP left, but you get the point, right? That's why Broly is just so freaking powerful here. But again, Broly performs a super attack on his 12 key. LR Majin Vegeta, for example, that's not the way he works. He performs his super attack on the 18 key. Now, getting key in World Tournament is actually very annoying. If you've ever played World Tournament and realized how low your key is because the friend that you bring, right? Usually when you play Dokkan, you bring your leader and then a friend. The friend leader's like leader skill and stuff doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually take into effect for the team. So that's why when you have a team, let's say a leader is giving 3 key to the entire team, that's why you only see 3 key for Broly, 3 key for Majin Vegeta here, right? Because your leader skill is the only leader skill that matters. So getting key in World Tournament does get a little bit of annoying, which is why there are certain supports in the game that make it a lot easier, and even items such as the Fruit of the Tree of Might item that gives 3 key to all allies, right? So definitely helps the super attacking process, especially for characters that perform their super attack, their AoE super attack on their 18 key. So you need 18 key or more to perform the AoE for LR Majin Vegeta. There's also characters, again, like LR Cell Jr., just another example, that perform their super attack on their AoE on their 12 key, damage to all enemies. That's what you're looking for, all enemies. And then, of course, you even have a character like Str Cell, who performs damage to all enemies, but he needs 11 key. Not 12 key, but 11 key. So these are just some examples of characters who have different conditions and different ways of getting their AoE. It's up to you to read through it, okay, and see where the AoE is being performed. But again, this is the entire list as of right now. As of me recording this video, sorry, this is the entire list of characters that perform damage to all characters on the field. You do have options like these 3 here. However, it's just like you have to have this guy's active skill to do it, right? Or these active skills, basically. Yeah, active skills. These are all active skill AoE, so not very dependable in the World Tournament. You just need characters that are going to be doing it literally every single super attack, and these are also just some more examples here of characters that do it on their 11 key, on their 12 key, or even on their 18 key super attack, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, let's discuss quickly some free-to-play options that you can grind up in-game that do AoE damage, right? Damage to all characters on the field. One of them is going to be LR Krillin. He is a Prime Battle LR, obtainable from the Krillin Prime Battle event, just like the Goku or the STR Frieza or the Int Tien or whatever, right? This is another Prime Battle LR, and he does his AoE damage on his 12 key. So definitely worth grinding up when you are participating, if you decide to participate in the World Tournament. Keep in mind that LRs are giving you an extra boost as well. So as you can see here, these are all the LRs that perform AoE super attacks, not the Gotenks, of course, but when you bring more LRs, you're getting more points, more Tor points, which will eventually lead to you accumulating more points in the future, which can definitely edge out some of the competition if you're being smart with how you want to grind the actual mode. So the more LRs you have, the better overall. So keep that in mind. However, another option here is the TUR for Krillin. Krillin's free-to-play TUR does also do damage to all enemies, and you don't even have to worry about any additional super attack, because since he's a TUR, he only has 1 super attack, and it's guaranteed to hit all enemies. Whereas with his LR state, if you accidentally get his 18 key, you will not be doing damage to all enemies there. So if you can farm up this Krillin, his LR, and then farm up his TUR here, and then run them both on the same team, right? And that's just 2 more characters that are doing AoE. You also have the free-to-play second form Frieza here, who's doing damage to all enemies. He's actually available from this event right here. Give me 1 second. It's this right here. Yeah, the Cataclysmic Clash Final Showdown with Frieza on stage 2 specifically. You can farm this Frieza and awaken him. He does also have an EZA, so definitely worth the grind if you haven't done so already. And then you also have this free-to-play Raditz here, available from this event. Give me 1 second. To this event right here. The low class warrior Raditz's Pride. And he is available on stage 2 as well. You can farm him up, and he also does AoE damage to all enemies, of course. So that is what makes him an AoE at the end of the day. That is definitely why, again, these are a few free-to-play characters that do AoE damage. It's 100% worth your time to grind up those characters. Now, I want to talk about some of the best leaders you can bring into the World Tournament, and one of them, unfortunately, is Physical Raditz. Physical Raditz is interesting because he is one of the best and one of the worst characters for World Tournament. He's one of the best because of his really strong leader skill for Pure Saiyan. So he's giving Pure Saiyans 3 ki and 170% to attack, and he's also an AoE character. So you're probably wondering, how is he bad? And I'll explain that in 1 second. But again, 3 ki and 170 to Pure Saiyan. So that means 3 ki and 170 to Broly, to Majin Vegeta, to the Tech Majin Vegeta, to the AGL Vegeta Nappa, sorry, to the Int Raditz if you use him, or the Physical Broly if you use him, or even the Tech Grade 8 Vegeta from the 7th year anniversary. So you have a whole team right there. That's, hold on, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess Broly's 6 or Majin Vegeta 6, and then boom, you just have your leader, your friend lead. That's a whole team under Physical Raditz, which again, it makes for a very, very, very strong team. And of course, he is an AoE by himself. He is only bad for the extremely competitive side of things. And what I mean by that is, out of all of these AoEs, someone on Twitter, I forgot who it was, posted a side-by-side screenshot or side-by-side video recording of every single AoE character in the game. And Raditz's AoE super attack takes the longest to actually perform, which means that over time, if you use Raditz to perform your AoE super attacks, you're going to be losing time. And if you're super competitive in this mode, or let's say you're racing for that top spot in local or global or whatever you're trying to rank, if the person you're going up against isn't using Raditz and you are using Raditz, you are automatically putting yourself at a disadvantage. And it's just true. Time is everything in the World Tournament, especially at the higher ranks if you're super competitive. So Raditz, great for his leader, but ass, like literally butt cheeks in terms of his ability to AoE damage and AoE. And of course, his attack stat is just trash as well. He is great for the World Tournament, but also sucks for literally one of the worst characters for, like, I would literally rather use Int Raditz here, rather than this Physical. That's just my opinion. It is what it is in terms of, you know, leaders, whatever. But again, he's a great leader, so he's up here. Anyways, we do have these LR free-to-play Physical Ginyu Force here. Now, I love them because they're an all types key 3, 120% lead, so you can literally just bring any character you want under his leader skill. But he's also supporting all not extreme class, but all allies 3 key and attack and defense plus 30%. With this makes him so freaking good because remember, the friend leader skill does not take into effect when you're running the World Tournament, so that you won't get that extra key or the extra attack and defense. But when you're running this unit here, the passive skill does take effect. You are getting the extra 3 key there and the extra attack and defensive buff. So definitely, you know, a character like worth your time in terms of you running your lead. If you're running like a friend lead, for example, like a friend Ginyu Force, again, this leader skill will not take effect, but the passive skill will. So definitely another strong free-to-play character here, and he's actually, just in case you guys don't know, available using the what's it called, the Battlefield Memory in the Battlefield Memory shop after taking down Ultimate Clash. So you can go ahead and buy him through there. So another option will be this Str Rose for your lead. Once he's EZ8, his leader skill is extreme type all allies 4 key, and 4 key is amazing for the World Tournament, as you could possibly or probably understand. But you need a team that includes all 5 extreme types. So AGL, Tech, Int, STR, Physical, which you could definitely do, right? Extreme STR is Broly, Extreme AGL is Majin Vegeta, Extreme Tech could be Grade 8 Vegeta, or the Majin Vegeta, so that's 3. That's what? That's STR, Tech, AGL, Physical could be Cell, and then, am I missing one? What type am I missing? Hold on. STR, physical, AGL, tech, and int. Sorry. Okay, and int would be the Raditz right there. Beautiful. So that's the entire extreme team that you can run for the Rose here. And Rose is also giving extra defense as well as extra ki. So just by him existing on the team, he's giving 7 ki when he's on rotation to any of these other AoEs. Having a full team of AoEs is just better. It's just good because no matter who's super attacking, you're going to be able to attack all enemies, which is literally what you want. So again, Rose himself is not an AoE character. He's just not an AoE. However, running one character that's not an AoE and 5 others who are AoEs, I mean, there's no way you're not going to get a rotation with at least one AoE on it, right? So it's still definitely a worthwhile sacrifice if you want to call it like that. Another option here is the Tech Vegeta Blue. Now, Tech Vegeta Blue is interesting because literally same exact leader skill, but for super class instead of extreme class. He is not supporting from his passive. And on top of that, it's harder to build a super class team. You have your super physical with Krillin. You have your super AGL with, what's his face? Gotenk, sorry. You do have your super STR with Piccolo. So that's 1, 2, 3. You do have, I believe Tech, like this includes himself. So Tech would be taken care of by him, which by the way, he does a lot of attacks. So he can be, he's not really an AoE, but he can perform 3-4 super attacks in a turn, right? Which can definitely help you defeat the enemies there. So that's Tech, AGL, physical, STR, and int. There is no super class int character or I mean, again, these are not dependable at all. So there is no super int AoE character. But again, that's just where you could probably run like any other int LR maybe to give you the extra points. Like again, Majin Vegeta, not Majin Vegeta, sorry. What's his face? Evolution Blue Vegeta, yeah. You can run him maybe. There's like an extra slot for something, but you're gonna have to figure out what you want to run with him. But again, still definitely a possibility. Still, if you have 2 characters on your team who are not AoEs and the rest are, you can't have a rotation with at least what you're going to have at least one AoE every rotation no matter what, which means you're still going to be able to run through the world tournament as quick as you possibly can. So keep that in mind. Another option here is going to be Cooler. STR Cooler, who has an EZA now, is very powerful. Not only is he a support to Transformation Boost or Terrifying Conquers, giving extra ki and whatnot, but his leader skill under 3 ki and 170 is giving a boost to a lot of these, world tournament characters here. So Terrifying Conquer specifically, you can easily run, let's say, where is he? Yeah, the Vegeta and Nappa, that is an AoE character, that's 1, right? You do have the Grade 8 Vegeta, who is an AoE character, which is 2. You also can run the Ginyu Force character, they're not AoE, however, you can, what's it called? Use them for support. You also have the TUR for LR Vegeta Nappa, who is an AoE, which of course is very strong. And they have a different name, by the way, so you can link them up with the LR Vegeta and Nappa right there. Who else is on here that does an AoE? You have the Raditz here, as well as the physical Raditz here, right? Second form Frieza should be also. Where is second form Frieza? Oh, right there, boom. Okay, so yeah, another AoE right there. So this, you can build an entire team of just AoEs from STR Cooler's leader skill. So if you have STR Cooler, feel free to use him as a leader as well. And then you also have someone like AGL Turles, who leads movie bosses and extreme class. Movie bosses and extreme class. So you can run literally any extreme class character you want from this list, or specifically movie boss characters who do get that really nice juicy buff. Examples would be, of course, by the way, Turles is also supporting as well, so definitely a great character, another great opportunity to run, right? So we already went through a lot of supports like the Ginyu Force LR, AGL Turles, STR Cooler, what's his face, the free to play Ginyu Force, AGL Turles, STR Cooler. I feel like we talked about a few more supports too, but you guys get the point, right? Anyways, so physical Broly is an AoE. STR Broly is obviously the AoE that we looked at a little bit earlier. Who else here is performing an AoE super attack? I mean, this Broly can perform a few super attacks. This Str Broly is an AoE. He just sucks, but again, he's definitely another option here. He's in this list right here. Where's Str Broly? Right here, right? So he definitely can perform an AoE. Is that it from this list, though? Yeah, I believe that's it from this list. So in total, you have not really an AoE. You can't really call him an AoE, but you have 1 here, and then you have 2, and then you have a 3 with this Broly. So again, not the greatest team of all time, but he's still leading Extreme Class, so you can still literally bring any Extreme Class character here. If you want Majin Vegeta, you can add him in there, and Str Cell, you can add him in there, and you still get also Str Rose, sorry, for the support, Str Rose for the support. So yeah, we looked at all the supports, all some like really decent leader skills here as well. And we basically went through all the AoE super attacks as well. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. World Tournament is definitely not a fun mode, but if you want to make it less non-enjoyable or just more enjoyable, I would say making a full AoE team, you know, finding out what leaders you could bring out of the ones I showed you, or literally any character who leads Extreme Class. Like for example, if I were to go to here, let me go to Worldwide Chaos. Worldwide Chaos. Worldwide Chaos. Okay. So, for example, this Tech Frieza here. Am I just blind, dude? Why can't I find these characters that I really want to find? How is Frieza not on Worldwide Chaos? Huh? I thought Worldwide Chaos was all villains. Frieza through... what? Okay. Anyways, so forget about Worldwide Chaos. Let me go back here. Let me just go to Legendary Power, and then pull up like just Frieza here, and then go to Wicked Bloodline. If I can just find a Wicked Bloodline really quick. There we go. Nice. Okay, all of this just to show you this right here. This Frieza is yet another example of an Extreme Class leader. So literally any Extreme Class leaders you can run. Will definitely still get the job done. The ones that I showed you were definitely some of the better options, though, and I already explained all the reasons why. But again, Extreme Class all types leader, some of the categories leader I showed you, some of the supports that I showed you, and again, this entire list of units you can use to get the AoE off. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know if you do have any questions in the comment section below. I appreciate you for watching. And I will see you all in the next one. Take care and peace.